Hello, Gold delegates from around the world. Welcome to Gold Lactation 2015. I'm Fleur Bickford, Program Director and MC for Gold Conferences International. And I'm here today with Jaye Simpson talking about her upcoming presentation titled Clinical Lactation and the LGBTQ Community. Welcome, Jaye. It's wonderful to have you with us today.
Thank you, Fleur. I'm really happy to be here.
So I was hoping just to learn a little bit more about you before we start talking about your presentation. So wondering if you can just tell us a little bit about yourself and your professional journey and how you came to be working in the field of lactation.
Well, my journey started 20 years ago with a little boy who apparently had a tongue tie and some structural issues that greatly complicated our breastfeeding adventures. Um, and I decided at that point in time, after 4 months of struggle and finally managing to kind of sort of get things pulled together, I decided I didn't really want anybody else to go through what I went through if I could help it. So I started on my journey in lactation in January of 1995, as a matter of fact. So it's been 20 years. And I'm going to kind of jump over into a little bit more of the topic of the LGBTQ community. I actually came out in 2000, and as a newly single mom with a couple of little kids, one who was still nursing, the LGBTQ aspect became very important to me. And so I started kind of focusing some more information and research and education in that area and really trying to connect with LGBTQ parents in relation to lactation, only to find that there really wasn't a lot of information out there. So it really has been quite the journey, I have to say. Definitely a worthwhile one and educational to say the least.
Thank you for that. I always find it interesting. I think a lot of us come to this field due to our own struggles with breastfeeding and finding support. So, okay. Now, if we talk a little more about your presentation, wondering if you could just give us a little bit of a preview of what's coming up and tell us a little bit about what you hope delegates will take away from your presentation.
Well, the preview would be it's you're going to get some interesting information about the LGBTQ community, how to work with us. Um, there are some things that are a little bit different working with the LGBTQ community than working with the heterosexual community. And I'm hoping that what the delegates get is actually better insight and recognition that we are different, even though we are similar, if that makes sense. Um, the LGBTQ community has special needs that don't necessarily apply to the heterosexual community, and there's just not a lot of information out there. So, my goal is to let the delegates come away with a better understanding of who we are and what it is that we need, if that makes sense.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Jay. I know I'm certainly looking forward to your presentation and learning more for myself. So thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us a little bit today. For our delegates who are listening, we will be hearing more from Jay during her presentation, which is coming up on Tuesday, April 21st at 2100 UTC. So we look forward to having you join us then. Thank you, everyone.